Alright, I got the clip off, strapped to the wall so it won't fall over. So now I'm going to jack this thing up and start pulling the front suspension apart. So, a bit of a pain in the ass because there's no motor or nothing like that, so I'll have to use spring compressors and stuff like that. But hopefully it'll all come apart. And yeah, start cleaning up the firewall and everything. So we'll see how far I get today. I'm hoping I should have it all apart. But you know how that goes. Big dreams. But yeah, step one, jack it up, pull the shocks out, and see if I can break some of these ball joints. Alright guys, here's where I'm at. So things up, I got the shock out, brakes off, broke the ball joints, got the tie rod off, got the spring compressor in. I put the jack in just to take the kind of force off so there's no weight on that. I'm just gonna take that nut off, lower it down, and once I get out of the way I can loosen up the spring compressor and should be all good. So there we go, always a bit of a tense moment, but nobody died, so that's good. Springs out, it's all apart, worked out pretty good. This has obviously been apart at some point there because nothing was too difficult to be ripped apart. I mean, this car sat for 10 or 15 years before I got it, so obviously it was kind of something was done and then put in storage or a trailer out in the field, either way. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep going. All right, here we go, all apart. So now you can see kind of closer, like these bushings have had it. They're pretty much wore right out. Same thing in the bottoms. They weren't as bad on one side, this side's kind of had it as well. All beat up and stuff like that. So now it's all apart. I can pull the lower ball joints out. Those ones are bolt in, so that's pretty sweet. These ones look like they're riveted, so I'll have to do something with those. Otherwise, yeah, take it all apart, pull the center shaft out, you know, get these all cleaned up and stuff. They actually aren't too bad. Like, I did a really good job pressure washing everything. Guess I can get this jack out of the way. So it's all kind of down to somewhat bare metal, so I'm not too sure. I might just drop these off, get them sandblasted, get them all coated, but now that you'll kind of get the gist of where I'm going. Things down to the bare frame horns. So now I can take this all apart, all the stuff out of it, and I can, you know, wire wheel everything, get in here, which is, you never get in here when the suspension's all together and stuff. So I get that all going, the whole thing. This thing's been pulled obviously a few times. It's all kind of beat up in the front. That side's been torn. Obviously a tow hook's been in there. So I'll get it all cleaned up, knock it all back together, kind of re-weld a few things just while it's here and I can do it, and then coat it all. And I want to make sure it looks real good, because obviously when the front end's tilted up, you're going to see all this stuff, which typically would be hidden mostly by inner fenders and all that sort of stuff. Well, I'm not doing any of that, so I'll make sure it looks decent. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm going there. There was a body brace here, goes down the mount there, and it fell right off. So while I'm at it, I'm gonna clean up the firewall and everything. And it's actually too bad I don't have a motor yet, because I've heard a lot of guys, like right in here, the valve cover hits on the passenger side. So I'm trying to find some measurements there as to maybe where I can go. You know, a lot of guys just smack it with the hammer and everything, which is fine, other than the car's so far apart right now. If I just kind of cut it, fold it all back, weld it back together, and then body filler it, no one will ever know, and it'll look fine. So I'm thinking I might just kind of wing it and kind of maybe go a little bigger than I have to, cut around, fold it back, buzz it together, and then you know, basically kind of try and keep this same shape, but up here a little bit. And I mean, it looks how it looks. The, you know, firewalls have little funny stuff anyway, so I don't think anyone will really know. And hopefully I'll be okay, but again, I have no idea what what's supposed to look like. So I'm going to keep going. That'll be the last thing I do anyways. I'll get it all cleaned up and stuff, and worst case, if the motor comes up down the road and I gotta take the motor out again and hammer it straight or do whatever I gotta do, I'll make that happen. But yeah, so that's that. This side, more of the same. And once I do that, I'll probably pull the master cylinder off and all that. See how crazy I want to go with the steering. See how clean I can get it. The frame doesn't look that bad. Like I said, when I pressure washed it, I really spent a bunch of time doing it. So I should be able to kind of get in the nooks and crannies, wire wheel, and then you know, a little bit of brake cleaner, stuff like that. And I'm going to put on that rust sealer KYB or whatever it's called there. So once I get that, it's supposed to kind of attach to rust anyways and flatten out and do its own thing. So I'm not overly worried about how crazy it's going to look. The big thing is getting all the suspension off, and then hopefully I can have it all off by the time I get my other stuff. It's supposed to be here next week. So once you get that, I mean, it's a simple matter of putting it all together. It's all painted, bolt it back up, and I'm done. So yeah, it's going pretty good. All right, well, as you can tell, this side didn't go quite as easy. Had the torch out. The lower control arm, the bolts are all seized in. There's a pain in the ass, so I had to heat those up, hammer them out. But it's basically off. All I got left is the upper control arm. That's 2 bolts, no big deal. This is how it comes off on the other side. Just a bolt that goes through, and that's where the shims go to adjust the alignment. So there and there. Zip those off. That'll be off. So yeah, it's pretty good. Made a lot of progress today. Kind of dirty, ugly work, but got that. I'll take all the brakes and all that stuff off the spindles, and then take all the bushings out, take all the the rods across like that out, get the ball joints out, and then drop those off, get them all sandblasted, and hopefully I'll get those sandblasted and then back by the time I get all my other stuff. I can get it all painted up, put it all together, and it'll be pretty minty. Alright guys, so I got front end was apart, the control arms, so I got all the ball joints out, the shafts are all loose, all the bushings are out, same with the uppers. This one we just finished working on, I'm not gonna lie. Frustration took over, and I ended up calling my old man to basically come over and do most of the work. So I recommend doing that if you're struggling. But yeah, so that's that. Hopefully I'll drop those off at the blaster tomorrow and get those back by the time all the bushings and stuff come in. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. I've got 2 right sides in kind of decent shape, and both left sides were kind of hammered up. This was the best of the 2, so it's just a little bit beat right here. So I got to kind of fold those back over once I put new bushings in, and I'll just put a couple of tack welds on there, and it'll be good enough. I still got to go through here and pull this one ball joint out there, but yeah, that's that. So worked out pretty good. Still got the original springs, probably end up putting those back in. Find out what I want to do with the brakes. I saw Speedway has a kit there for 250 bucks. Put on disc brakes, so I might go that way, but yeah, that's how it's going now. Alright, so here's where I'm at. Everything is cleaned off. I got the frame down. Basically a better metal on the top and the sides. That's all I really care about. I did the bottom side and all that as well, but it is what it is. I'm going to put that rust seal KBS stuff on there. Pull the steering column, got the box off, got all the steering out and everything. Then what it is, I just painted in these kind of spots that are going to be a pain to get to just with a spray bomb, just so it kind of is black, and then as much as I could in the cradle and all that there. So that's that. My plan is basically just to kind of paint, here forward all the way around with that rust seal. Again, the top and the sides being the most important part, because when the front clip's flipped up, that's what you'll see. So I'll try putting this stuff on and see what works out. All right, there we go. Bunch of screwing around. It's pretty tedious. I didn't really film it. It's pretty simple. I mean, brush it on, do a few coats, and that's it. Got to clean it up real good. A couple of steps there for its whatever it wants. Clean it, hose it off, and keep going. So that's that. I had a couple little runs there, but it wasn't terrible. So let it dry overnight. I guess it says 6 hours to cure, but I figure overnight will be good. Come back out tomorrow, see how it turns out. Hopefully the shine dulls down a little bit. It's a little bit much for me, but the worst case was also saying you could hit it with some 320 and then just paint over it. So I might do that anyways. There's a few little kind of bubbles, and actually some of the hairs of the brush ended up getting stuck in there. So, might be going a little overkill. But yeah, see what turns out tomorrow. Worst case, I still scuff it up a little bit and just fog on some trim clad semi-gloss or flat black, and it'll look good. But it filled in all the little holes, and it should be looks decent. That's it.